fall fades on another really cold morning at the Eagle. Temperature down in the 30s. Things coming alive. Another typical morning here where it's just absolutely glass slick out there and gorgeous, beautiful, calm, cold. More cold headed this way. Perhaps a little rain. And another incredibly great week God has coming. And maybe the rut is getting a little closer to the end. The rut is right here in the middle of gun season in Oklahoma, which is sensational for the hunters. It's a little dangerous for our little deer herders. Our deer, some of them, I'm sure, because we've been told by our local game ranger friend, Ty, that he saw a couple of our bucks on his camera at his feeder. So he said he wouldn't shoot them. He would just run them back over here, but that doesn't mean somebody else might not. But he said they were really nice, but young, not quite shooters, obviously. And he wouldn't mess with them, so that's good. But got a mama and her baby out there. You can see how big her baby has got, just about as big as she is. And extremely cautious as she looks out there. Something's got her attention. Out in the woods, I don't see anything out there. I saw a fish hook running around out here this morning. And he was out around the pens, but it was really too dark to video, and then I got a quick glimpse of him coming through the yard, but he was moving and hunting big time. So, but the mom and baby starting to come back around. We should have deer start to show back up at the South Fresh for some South Fresh feed coming out of that Texas Hunter feeder there. They'll come by there and snack on it, and the turkeys will come by and clean up what's there, so nothing goes to waste as far as food on this ranch, that's for sure. Pretty slim pickings this morning. A mama and her baby. And they're actually mostly eating at the garlic salt block. I guess maybe they're eating some food under there. I saw a fish hook before daylight out in the yard eating ryegrass. He's still hunting, still looking, still trying to make the rut go as long as possible. I think this doe here is probably bred and then got her baby back with her again. She's the one that hangs around the house all the time. And it's good to see her because with all the food in the woods, all the chasing that's gone on the last month or so, not seeing a whole lot of deer around, so it's kind of nice to see deer at the house here. Yes, it is. Big old fat pretty girl. Yes, you are, baby. Yes, you are. And you're a pretty little girl deer. 39 degrees out there. Really have a pretty nice stretch with a little rain coming a few days early in December, but the first 10 days of December, which is right around the corner, forecast to be pretty nice. A pretty little bunch of does and babies out there this morning. Looks like we have 5. And you know, that's a pleasant sight, and one of the reasons is that, as a deer hunter, I was always anxious for the rut, because it was a really, really great time to hunt. Is still a great time to hunt. I just simply don't hardly hunt. Spend all of my time taking care of Chris during hunting season. But it's really nice to see the does getting back together and coming to the feeder. That means a couple things. It means the rut is getting closer to over. These deer have already been bred and have refound their babies, which is good. And it also means that the acorns are thinning out a little bit in the woods, so they can't just take a bite of food every step that they take. So it's nice to see the deer start back around the house. We'll start seeing some of our bucks show up, and hopefully some of our bucks that we haven't seen in a while, like little Whitey, will come back home. We just hope he's still alive and well. And we're going to assume that he is, whether he comes back or not. We've definitely found no body, so if you don't find a body, you just assume that they've made it out there somewhere, which may or may not be true, but always thinking in the positive. Uh-oh, something scared him just a little bit there. Probably hearing Jimmy talking through the bedroom window. 5 beautiful does and fawns. I think maybe Benelli just went out on the porch, kind of startled them a little bit. They're not too worried about Benelli. There's a little bunch of elk telling us goodbye as we head off to church on a Sunday morning. Kind of hard to see back there in the shadows, aren't they? They blend in pretty good. Just a little bunch there. 6 or 8 animals. There might be a whole bunch more close by. Here come the deer. Tell us goodbye also, I guess. Something's scaring them out of there. It's a pretty little bunch of does and fawns right there.
Probably that other big buck chasing.
Well, there might be. Well, just on the other side of those trees harvesting too. Might be that's a little buck back behind. That last one's a little buck. Very, very chilly on the water this morning as we start another day at the Eagle. The sun just peeking over the mountain, and it is 23 degrees. That's right, 23 degrees. Now, that may not sound too bad for some of you, but when you're from the south, that's chilly. That is chilly, that's for sure. Dead calm, little mist coming off the water. A beautiful way to start another day. What makes it beautiful is I'm inside where it's nice and warm. Yes, I am. Let's look and see what's out the other side of the house. See what's out there in that cold 23-degree weather. Finally, a few of my girls coming around as we get on up into the morning. Big, pretty fat girls. That baby is getting so big. It's just fantastic to see them when they're so tiny and they grow up into a deer is what they grow up into. The baby is just absolutely beautiful. Just as pretty as she gets. She can hear me talking in here. And her mama can too, and her friend, but they're not paying a bit of attention to me. It's the first deer I've seen this morning on this cold morning. It's still only 26 degrees. It's up 9 o'clock in the morning, just about 9 o'clock. Been up since daylight, watching around and seen lots and lots and lots and lots of turkeys. I tried to count them a time or two there. Impossible, but I think it's up in the 60s. That's right, the 60s. Now, that's a big bunch of turkeys. That's probably as many turkeys as we've had in a long time. A lot of strutting going on, a lot of running around chasing each other, and probably just trying to get warm about as much as anything else. You see how fluffed up the deer are there. They're really fluffed up and pretty looking. Deer are able to get air inside of their hair in order to stay warm on these cold days. And this is nothing compared to what the deer way up north go through, but you can see just how beautiful they are. Just absolutely gorgeous. Not a lot of antlers out there, but certainly life on the Eagle. I guess that this is becoming an every morning experience, as long as I make sure I get up at daylight or before daylight, because it seems like the first place that the wild turkeys are all coming is here to the house. So that means they're roosting right here close by. I know exactly where they're roosting, obviously. See that turkey out there in full strut? My phone will focus in. I think maybe an iPhone. Look at all of them strutting out through there. This is basically December. Lots of birds going out that way. They may all get out in the front yard between here and the lake. We have new burn barrels. Look at all the gobblers. The phone is having a very difficult time this morning. The cool weather. Cold weather, not cool, in the 20s. Apologize for that picture. Back up a little bit. I don't know how many turkeys have gone across there, but a lot. And there's still more. Huge, huge bunch of turkeys. In excess of 60, maybe as many as 70. Let's see if we can look at them through another window. Well, they were not heading toward the front yard, but the woods are full of them. My gosh. Look at that, the side of that hill over toward the lake. The sun is not quite up over the mountains, trying to peek over the mountains there, but not yet. A tremendous amount of turkeys. Oh, and all the jakes start chasing each other around, having a little sparring fights early this morning. And now they're coming back. I can barely hear them talking out there. I'm shooting through the window in the house. So. And a couple of them took off flying. Turkeys have to be pretty scared to see them fly. They do a lot of running. You heard about the turkey trot? That's what we have, is a turkey trot. There comes one, the full-born run. They all decided to go over the hill. They all decided to come back. And these that went this way, they're not coming back. All that camera's doing all this. This is an iPhone having a difficult time focusing in poor light. I like to zoom in just a little bit. And they're just headed everywhere over there. Headed everywhere. Now look at this big bunch coming back over here. Some of these might have just now hit the ground out of the roost. Very few people are in areas that can see that many wild turkeys. Although this is the time of the year to see big bunches of them bunched up like that. They bunch up together for the wintertime. That is a huge bunch. In Kansas, I've seen, it's not like that up there right now, but in years past, I've seen as many as 300 in a bunch like that. 300. So that's about, you start focusing, start trying to zoom in a little, and it doesn't know where to focus, and so it just blurs up. But quite a sight early this morning. Quite a remarkable sight. Turkeys, gobble, gobble. They're happy that Thanksgiving's over.